everyone. Welcome back to Sudokuvania. We finished up a boss, or not a boss puzzle, sorry, an enemy puzzle last time to get us this 5. We'll do the typical beginning of video check that I haven't screwed up anything catastrophically since then. Okay, so we've got a bunch of stuff unlocked over here. Oh, I guess these two need to sum to 7, don't they? And they're not 2, 5, or 1, 6, so these are 3, 4, continuing this line. And now that makes this digit an 8 by continuing this line up here. That's not really what I wanted to look at. I actually wanted to look at the fact that these two sum to 14, and they're not 6. Oh, this cage just has one more cell in it, right? Yeah, so it's not these two. It's the rest of the cage sums to 14, but it can't be 2 cells in the rest of the cage. Because that would have to be either 6, 8, or 5, 9, and it could be neither. So this cage has to grow at least even more than that. And I think we actually know it can only be that large because... actually, do I know for sure it doesn't grab that cell? Maybe I'm not 100% certain it doesn't grab that cell. Okay, I do know one of these two is a 3. In fact, I might as well write in, I know that these cells are 1, 3, 4, 8. And these aren't 3. That one's not a 1. That 8 does not see across here, so I will not be using it as such. See, this row is got a 7, 8, 9 in it left to place. This seems not to be an 8 because there's one in the box. I'm debating if I want to keep marking up this grid or if I want to look at this new grid that I have over here. I want to come look at this grid over here. Wait, what's going on with this grid? Okay, this is a quattro quadri. Place the digits 1 through 9 into each cell without digits repeating in a row, column, or 3x3 box. So this is a 4x4 puzzle. Or sorry, this is a 6x6 puzzle. Quattro quadri, not to be confused with octo quadri. But we've got another enemy over here. The ornery ivy. Some nearby plants won't leave you alone. Cut them down to size. Okay, and this is a quattro quadri. Okay, so 1 through 9 in each cell without repeating in a row, column, or 3x3 box. Okay. Okay, so just minimizing and then maximizing these. 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Don't know how useful that's going to be. Okay, well, this digit is big because it's a sum of at least 3 numbers. It's the sum of those 3. Likewise, this number is the sum of those 3, and this number is the sum of those 3, and this number is the sum of those 3. So actually, all of these numbers are from 6, 7, 8, 9. And that actually means that this number can't be larger than 6, actually, because if I have a 3-cell sum to a single-digit number, I can't use a number that's larger than 6, because 6 and 1, 2 is as small as I could do. So actually, we can pare this down quite a bit. So actually, this is only a 1 or a 2. Okay, Okay, these numbers both have to be from 1, 2, 3, because this number being at least 5 means that I can't even get to 1, 4 without making this a 10 by accident. This is also neither a 6 nor a 7, because 5 plus 1 plus 2 is already 8. This digit can't be a 3, actually, because if I put the 1, 2, 3 here, then these would be at least 4 and 5. That would make this number at least 10. The way I always remember that is a 3-cell arrow always has 2 1, 2, 3s on it if it doesn't have repeated digits. So I can't have a 3 down here because that would only have 1. So anyway, so that makes that a 4, a 5, and makes that a 4, a 5, and a 6, which does indeed make these a 1, 2 with a 9. Okay, so this is at least a 3. This is, I guess, at most a 7. So I guess if I want to maximize, it would go 3, 5, 7. And if I want to minimize it, it would go... wait, can this only be a 3? This 4 confused me. Okay, so this number is at least 5, because this is at least 3. It's at least 5. Oh, but this number could still be a 6, right? Yeah, and so that number could be a 6, is the point. And so this number can be any number less than 6. So it can be a 4. Number less than 6 and at least 3. Okay, so I think that's a correct pencil marking of this. However, that does mean I think that this number is only an 8 or a 9, because 6 plus 2 is 8 already. Okay, the 9 is certainly down here by corner marking. This number is at least 4. So by virtue of being on an arrow, it's definitely a 4, 5, 6. So these are both 1, 2, 3s. Oh, I guess I should mention that this is a 2-cell sum to 9, right? That doesn't have a 6 in it. I guess that still leaves a lot of options. This number is at most 3. So this is a 1, 2, 3, and it's not a 3 because that would put a 6 here. So this is a 1, 2, or a 7, 8. There we go. That's how to think about that. Okay, so this number is at least 3 and at most 5, and it can't be a 4. So this is a 3, 5. This number is at least 2, and at most 4. So it's from 2, 3, 4. Unfortunately, that still could be a 9. I have a feeling they're all going to turn out to be 9, but I don't actually know that yet. I do actually know that this 8, 9, whatever digit it is, it goes in one of these 2 cells. Oh, unless it's exactly 8 with a 9 there, maybe? That might be okay. Oh. I see. I can't put 3, 1, 2, 3s on this. So this arrow here has a 1, 2, 3 and a 4, 5, 6. It's not a 4. Well, that together gives me all of my numbers from 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. If you want to think about it this way, what I'm really saying is, where do 7 and 8 go in this box? The only places they can go are here and here. So that, in fact, has to be the 7. That has to be the 8. The only way that works is if that's 2, which makes that a 9, because 2 plus 7 is 9. That makes this a 1 automatically. And so this is 1, 3, 5 at minimum. That's already 9, and it better be exactly 1, 3, 5. Oops. So that's a 6. No 2 there. Okay, the 8 looks right. And so one of these two is an 8, but if that one was an 8, this would be a 9. That doesn't work. So this is the one that's the 8. We know there's 2, 1, 2, 3s on this arrow. Together with that 1, 2 actually makes this a 4. The 5 makes that a 6. Is that a 3? 3, 1. It is 1 plus 2 plus 6 that is 9. Okay, what is left in this box? We've got a 3, 4, 7. These two aren't 4. It's either 1, 8 or 2, 7. Oh, this just can't be a 7 is the point, because if this was a 7, that would be an 8, and this still would have no value. So this is a 3, and that's a 7. These numbers are definitely not from 1, 2, 3, so they're from 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, it's not an 8, not a 5. Oh, in fact, actually, the 8 in this... Oh, no, the 8 in this box is in one of these two, but I don't know which one right away. Okay, these cells are not 1, 2, 3. They could be 4. They do not contain a 5 or a 6, and they could be 7, 8, or 9. Okay, these two are not 8 or 9. So these are a 4, 7 pair, which knocks 7 out of these and 4 out of that one. So these are, in fact, an 8, 9 pair. This is an 8. Then this would have to be 1... Oh, that just doesn't work. This just can't be an 8, is the point, because the two ways to make 8 are 1, 2, 5, which is impossible because of this cell, and 1, 3, 4, which is impossible because of this cell. Or if you want, you could say, what's the minimum this could add to, given that it can have a 1, but if it has a 1, it can't have a 2. So then it could be, so 1, 3, 5 is the minimum, which is already 9. And so this is, in fact, 1, 3, 5. That the 5, these the 1, 3, that the 2, and the 7. Like that. There we go. You did it. Enter 2 into this enemy cell. There we go. Okay, we certainly know that this is from 6, 7, 8, 9. It's not an 8, so that's not a 7. I think I can do a little more before I wrap up this video. Yeah, I don't have anything for any new rules for this except for the octoquadri one. Sorry, quattro quadri. Oh, this is the 3-cell sum to 15. I might be able to figure out what that is. Okay, so remember, every 3-cell sum to 15 either is exactly 4, 5, 6, which this one isn't, or it has a high digit, a low digit, and a middle digit. The only low digit available is a 1, so there's definitely a 1 in here. together with a 2-cell sum to 14, which does not include an 8, so it's 5, 9. Which actually makes these digits here a 6 and a 7, which makes that a 9, and to that a 6. Ooh, there's a boss cell. Okay, so this is also 6, 7, 8, 9. But I suppose before we do that, we should probably do the boss puzzle. I think we could do the boss puzzle. You don't need to give me the ways to do this. Okay. We will fight the boss. Okay, we have a clones quad. Okay, so gathering your courage, you step out into the open. You are here for answers, but you can't leave someone in trouble. You can see as you approach that the bound figure on the ground is an adolescent girl. She stirs when the 4 thugs speak. Well, look at this, friends. We have another guest. Their gravelly voices bark out in unison. You notice with unease that they all have the same face as well. Clones? Each man turns to look at another, and they seem to be conversing despite saying the same things. Lots of visitors today, aren't there? Yes, let's bring them in. As they all stride towards you, you lock eyes briefly with the tied and terrified girl. Okay, so we have Sudoku. We have these inequality things, which I appreciate that they're not like all stacked on top of each other here. The consecutive dash, a diamond between 2 cells indicates that the difference is 1. So these are white Kropke. And these contain the same 4 digits and the same configuration. Okay, so we can, like, just for our sanity, we can just give this a color. And try and remember that we know that each of these is, like, every purple cell is the same and every green cell is the same, for example. Okay. Yellow is not 1 or 9. Green isn't 1 or 9. I'm just seeing that because I see, like, both things pointing out of it, those pointing out of it. This is definitely like a 5-cell string of consecutive digits. So there's like a 5 in it by our usual like 5-cell Renbon trick. Let's see. In fact, that cell is red. Let's just do some coloring. How about that? We've got 2 reds looking into this box. We know all 4 colors are different. The only place that red can go is here. Let's see. There's a yellow in one of these 2 cells by similar logic. I don't know which one it is. Purple is in one of these 2 cells. Green is in one of these 2 cells by similar logic. Red is here, because those 2 reds look down and that red looks across. So one of these 2 is red. One of these 2 is yellow. One of these 2 is green. One of these 2 is red. I'm not sure how productive this has been, if I'm going to be honest. It might be more useful to start center marking cells as not being 1 or 9. Okay, green and red. There we go. Okay, so like this says that green and red differ by exactly 4, right? Like if this were 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, it would work. And these two always differ by exactly 4. Does tell me that that cell's certainly not green, because that cell's consecutive with red, and green and red differ by 4. Okay, so we can even do better. Green and red differ by 4. And yellow's not between them. Oh, green and purple also differ by 4. Okay, this is quite clever, actually. So I had been thinking I can kind of disregard this because I don't know if it has repeats, but I actually know it doesn't have repeats because these two ends are different. So it is also the case that green and purple differ by 4. And so that means that you can go both 4 up and 4 down from green, which means that green is 5. A familiar feeling on this channel. And therefore red and purple are 1, 9. Okay, so one of these two is yellow, right? Because we've said that. So this is oh, I didn't actually mark that one as 1, 9. So I could, if I want, I can mark these are 2, 8. These are 3, 7. These are 4, 6. But these are different 4, 6s. But yellow doesn't go between green and red. So since everything goes either between green and red or green and purple, yellow goes between green and purple. It's not there. So one of these is yellow. And that looks at that cell and tells me that this cell's actually yellow. Not perhaps the most amazing thing that's ever been deduced in the history of the world, but we'll do it anyway. Okay, this is the 2, 8 that goes by red. I might or might not degenerate into worse coloring. We'll see as this goes on. This 2, 8 going here would make a lot of sense. Like, I kind of want to just, like, color all of these red, but that might be confusing. What if I make this, like, the red circle 2, 8? That won't be confusing, right? And this can be the red X37. The purple circle 2, 8. And the purple X37. Is that confusing? Surely not, right? We do know that there's a green on this white dot, so this is certainly from 4, 5, 6. Oh, and purple's definitely not on the dot, because purple, we know, is a 1, 9. So purple's here. This is a very clever puzzle. Also, I never wrote 1, 9 in this for some reason. I know one of these two is purple. I don't know which one. But purple is a 1, 9, so it's not any of these digits. That means purple goes up here somewhere, not there. Well, purple doesn't go there either, because this is between two things. And I don't know if purple is very high or very low, but I know it's extreme. So this is the purple 1, 9 here. Oh, purple 1, 9 is just here. Just by magic of paying attention to Sudoku at all. So this is a 2, 8, and it's the pink X 2, 8. Sorry, it's the pink O 2, 8. One of these two is the pink O 2, 8, but who knows? Oh, that tells me that yellow isn't the pink O, because yellow is here and the pink O is here. So yellow is actually the 3, 7. So yellow is also known as pink X, and it's a 3, 7. And this is a perfectly sane way to do this. I don't want to hear any arguments to the contrary. Oh, yes, sorry, this one's also 3-7. And also pink X. Oh. I filled in a purple there, so this isn't purple. But this just is purple. Okay, so that tells me what purple is. Because this number is less than yellow, but it's not purple or the number next to purple. Well, if yellow was 3, these would be 2 and 1, and this would be a 3 with a 2 and a 1 over there, and this number would have to be less than 3. That's not going to happen. So yellow 3-7 is in fact 7. We can check that we've done everything correctly. Haha! Excellent. Okay. And so that actually lets us fill out that this goes 7, 8, 9, 6. And therefore this goes 1, 2, 3, 4. So all of my purples are 9s. All of my reds are 1s. All of my red circles are 2s. That one was still a 9. All of my pink circles are 8s. Okay, and then we can get rid of the second coloring layer. Not have to worry about it. Okay. Very nice. Okay, so over here, the numbers we have left are 1, 2, and 6. Well, that better be the 6 with a 1, 2 here. Oh, and that one is the 2, and that one's the 1, which I'll remind you is red. So this one is just no color at all. Unless it's green. It might be green. Who knows? Yeah, there's like a 5 in the crisscross corners of that box. Who knows? Okay, this number is less than 5, so this is a 2, 3, 4. This number is bigger than 5, so it's a 6, 7, 8, but it's not a 7. This is a 6 or an 8. Okay, this number is less than 5, and this number is even less than that. So this is going to be a 2 or a 3 and a 3 or a 4. Judging by the fact there's no 1. Oh, this number is just an 8. It's bigger than 7. How about that? Numbers that are bigger than... I'll take numbers that are bigger than 7 that aren't 9, Alex. Or Alex. One of these two. That's 8. Tristan and I went to see Jeopardy get filmed once. It was very cool. This is a 3 or a 4. This is less than 7, and it's not 1, 2, or 6. This looks like it's going to be 3, 4, or 6 to me. In fact, one of these is definitely 6 for what it's worth. This number is 8 for lots of reasons. The reason I saw is because Sudoku puts it there, but maybe I should have, in fact, contemplated what numbers were larger than 7 and not 9 for a second time. This seems to be a 6. Trying to see if I can do anything silly with 6s. This is a 3, 4, or 6, just by the inequality. This is also a 2, 3, 4. Yeah, no, sorry, this is also an 8. Sorry, I'm reading this backwards again. This is the like 18th number that is larger than 7 that I have not noticed. Larger than 7, but not 9. 8 goes in one of these two cells, but it doesn't go there because I need a number larger than 8, and somehow my brain sees that. Okay, one of these two is 8. That's not too surprising. Okay, so if this is a 5, then these have to go 5, 6, 7, but that looks okay to me as it currently sits. Okay, this row needs 3, 4, 5. I think that's right. So it's not a 4. Okay, what about this column? I'm just going to write it in. Okay, so we've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 left. Okay, these are both not 8 for assorted reasons. In fact, actually, the only place for 8 in the column is weirdly there. But this is not a 2 because it's bigger than a 2, 3, 4, and therefore this is a 2 by the 3, 4 pair in the column. Let's see, this row is filling it. Let's fill in this box. 3, 4, 5 is what's left. So in this row, we've got a pair left of 1 and 6. After this 3, 4, 5 triple. By the way, this is not a 5 because the 5 in this 3, 4, 5 triple is in this box. Let's see, in this row, we've got a 3, a 4, and a 5 left. Eight is here just by Sudoku and this inequality sign. That digit's definitely not 8 because that can't be 9. And this is an 8 because it sees an 8, so this digit just is 8. In fact, I could have even done it just by Sudoku, actually. This is the last 8 in the grid, even, if you want it to be even more clear. These are 4, 6, and 7. It's not a 7. So this number's bigger than a 4, 6, so it's not a 4. It's a 6 or a 7. 6 in this box doesn't go in these cells. It can't go here either because there's no number larger than 6 that could go here. 7, 8, and 9 in the row are all gone. So in fact, that's the 6, which makes that the 7 and the 4. Makes this a 2 or a 3. So it's not green in particular. So this is green, meaning it's a 5. This had become 7, so it just is yellow. This one is not a color. This is green, just by asking where green goes in this box. This is a 5. This is green by asking where green goes in this box. It's a 5. One of these two is green, but we don't know which one yet. There's a 3, 4 pair in this column and has been for an undisclosed amount of time, so that's a 2. The 6 in this row, by the way, has become on this dot. So this is a 5, 6 kind of dot, which means that these digits are a 3 and a 4, and we know the order. 3 and 4 aren't colors. So that's a 2. Let's see. In this box, we still need a 3, and a 6. So this is a 2, 4 for the row. Oh, but it's not a 2. Okay, sorry. There's a lot going on here where basically just everything's filled in. This is a 3 because it's a 2, 3, 4 for the box, but it's not a 2 or a 4. So this is a 3, which makes that a 6. Makes that a 4 and a 2. Makes that a 3. That is a 4. That's a 6. That's a 4. That is a 3 and a 4. And a 3 and a 4 and a 3. 5, 4. That is a 6. Does not get a color. That is a 5, which gets its full granity now. So 1 and a 6. That one is red, we shall recall. So this cell is probably not a color, and this one is a red one. We do still have a yellow left to place somewhere in one of these cells, but who knows where. Okay, these are 2 and 7, I think. I don't know anything about that. This digit, though, seems to be a 2. That might tell me something about that. Okay, so that's the yellow, and this box is yellow. Okay, does every box have 4 colors now? No, this one is missing a green 5. Okay. So that's a 2. That is a 3. Should probably erase the equation on 3. You converse with the formerly captive girl as together you tie up the 4 clone goons with their own rope. I'm Anne, she says. Anne from Roseville. I came here looking for my father. Folks have been disappearing ever since the castle showed up right outside town, and he went trying to get to the bottom of it. It's been bad. Real bad. You explain your own quest and the progress you've made so far. They say this castle is the source of all Sudoku. Someone must be in charge. That person might know what happened to my father, too. Anne slumps in fatigue. I don't think I'm cut out for this place. You can do Sudoku. I'm sure you'll find my father. I'll go back and wait at the edge of town. But take this. It might help. She removes her cloak and gives it to you. You got Dashing Cloak. Values separated by a diamond differ by 1. Enter 1 into the puzzle's boss cell in Sudokuvania. You know what? That one gets the official Zeta heart. That is my favorite so far. Okay, we're entering 1 into this cell. Okay, so this is a 1. Unlocked Dashing Cape. Okay, so these two need to add to 14. So they're 6, 8, or 5, 9. Okay, and this one's not 6 or 9, so it is 5 or 8. So this one's not 5 or 8, it's 6 or 9. But it's a 5 or 8 that's consecutive with a 6, 7, 9. Unfortunately, 5 and 8 are both consecutive with some of those, as best I am able to tell. Oh, but this is also a diamond that I had missed. Okay, well, this is not a 1 anymore for sure. It's either a 5, 6, or a 9, 8. This is never a 9. And so if this is a 6 or 8, this is a 7 or a 9. 7 or 9 are both odd, so this had better be an 8. And a 6. Discovered quest. Decode the cipher. Let's find this quest. Values lie strictly between those on the ends. So we've got our between lines now. Okay, so all of these numbers are... well, they can't all be bigger than 6, so they're all less than 6, and bigger than 1, because you can't put a 1 between these. So these are, in fact, 2, 3, 4, 5, is what this is telling us. So that's a 2. Okay, so this is a 1, 7, 8, or 9. This is a 2, 3, 4, or 5. This could be a 1. It could not be a 1. Who knows? Oh, there's a diamond here. I feel like there's an annoying number of possibilities for this, though. Anyway, that's probably a good place to wrap up this episode, given we've made a lot of progress, and I see we can come back here. We'll do this next time. We'll come back and remember that this diamond was here. But thank you, everyone, for watching, and we'll be back soon with more Sudokuvania. bye for now.